While we have 4 videos on this channel showing how to beat Sierra's Lapras lineup at the time of this recording at least, there's always room for more teams, and that's what I'm all about, helping you guys find teams of all types and all skill levels from extremely optimized to low and casual level. So we'll be facing her back-to-back Lapras combo. Once again, I'll link everywhere that I can to the other videos as well, showcasing how to beat the double Lapras squad, but this time you saw that we threw out Vaporeon and almost immediately switched to Machamp. There are some Pokemon that do amazing in that first spot against Lapras, and Machamp is one of them, which is why I've shown it off once before in another one of these episodes. But this time, we've gone even lower in its CP to see if we can push that boundary once again. Key thing to keep in mind here is that we're using my wife's account. It's in the mid to lower 30s. She's always been a mostly casual player, but I did get her a legendary that you'll see later on in this video, and then we'll have alternatives to that as well, because I know not everyone has legendaries at their disposal. Again, trying to reach many different levels of people who watch these, encompass everyone. It's obviously hard for me to read the mind of every single viewer who could stumble upon my videos, but I still make every best attempt to do so. And so what you saw transpire essentially, while I've been rambling on, I guess, is just that Machamp. The idea was to have cross chop on it. Again, we've showcased all this stuff before, but if you've never seen a video of mine or you're new to the Team Go Rocket fights, we're using the same principle I'm about to explain here with Vaporeon. But essentially what you're trying to do is use those charge attacks as often as you can. Now with one caveat, essentially the Team Go Rocket side is going to stand still. You know, they'll wait for about 3 seconds, which is really valuable time, you see, even after they do it too. So it's not just when you do a charge attack, but whenever you or they use a charge move, or whenever a Pokemon faints or is manually switched out, just like that first Lapras went down, and now we've got another Lapras here against Sierra. So during that time that they're standing still, you want to generate energy for your charge attack as much as possible. You know, don't use it right away. Let's say that you have this Vaporeon right here with Aqua Tail, like I do. You notice I didn't use another Aqua Tail just immediately after using my first one. So what we are doing is just generating that energy up even more for the next Aqua Tail, and so you can keep on generating energy. You know, the energy will still build up essentially for your attack as you are just using your fast attack right there. So Vaporeon is crazy, you guys. I mean, that one didn't even, none of these are exceeding Ultra League levels. You know, that Machamp was almost near Great League too. It's like you can do a lot of these things with this team at lower levels. Just one thing you have to make sure is that the movesets are the same. You know, some people try to use my teams that I recommend, for instance, against a Pokemon that the Team Go Rocket side has with completely different moves. That's the thing, is Lapras can be somewhat of a different fight when it's got Water Gun as its fast move as compared to Frost Breath. So like Zekrom, for example. We just had Zekrom out there, and again, I'm about to show another team that totally whoops up on Sierra, and it'll be without a legendary Pokemon thrown in the mix. But like I was saying, you know, Zekrom would fall to Frost Breath because it's an ice type attack. Zekrom's got the Dragon in there. Ice gonna be super effective against Dragon. You see that we have a Houndoom coming out right here, and so I'm just kind of finishing off. I knew that Zekrom would probably go down right there, but we have so much health already gone from that Houndoom. It's like, obviously, Vaporeon's gonna win right here. Aqua Tail is just nuts. You guys know that, of course, if you played recently Community Day, your Gyarados now can have Aqua Tail. At least if you did it on Community Day, I guess we should say. And so like a Gyarados with Dragon Breath and Aqua Tail, it kind of can serve some, I would say, similar purposes of Vaporeon. Now you gotta just remember your typings again. I don't particularly like it when people come at me if they're like, your teams didn't work, buddy. When it's like, well, hey, you have to know your typings, you know. So here, we're starting up with another lineup that you can use right here. Now, I've done so many videos on the power of Stunfisk, and so this is gonna kind of bring it back. Think of this like an addendum to that, but this time we're using my wife's account, and some of those videos I used other accounts. You'll see them. We got links everywhere, you guys. Alolan Raichu, though, is gonna kind of start us out right here, and so this is kind of like, well, if you don't have other options, look what we got for you right here. And this is a Great League Alolan Raichu, meaning that it's gonna be below 1500 on that CP. So at 1491, it's still gonna do pretty good. Now, the main thing is you obviously see that this Lapras, it's like it still is out bulking us, obviously, with Lapras being the insane Pokemon that it is when Sierra's got it up here at 7500 plus. So I was aware that we could lose that Alolan Raichu. One thing about it is that Thunder Punch, you know, it was able to get that kind of spammed off pretty well, and before I switched out the Stunfisk right here, which we now have in, but before I switched that out at the very beginning of the video, we did just get a few attacks off so that we would have a little bit of energy generated. Stunfisk is crazy. Again, this is going with that same principle that I spoke about before. Your charge moves, if you can spam those off, meaning if you can fire them off really fast, you can have Pokemon of exceptionally low levels sometimes that they work wonders, let me tell you. So anyway, we're gonna go ahead and switch out to our other Stunfisk just so we don't lose the first one. You know, we don't lose that Galarian Stunfisk. We now have our Unova, just regular Stunfisk up in here. It's not gonna do as much with that Muddy Water. Muddy Water is an attack we've also talked about, I guess, at length on this channel. channel and everything, but hopefully many of you know, it's mostly a pretty weak attack, but it can get the energy generated really quickly, and it has a chance to debuff the opponent's attacks, you know, so that's kind of nice too. Lower their attack right there. Now, if you want to know, of course, we've got Sharpedo up in here, and the interesting thing is I put a little note in text or whatever, but we're never going to see this thing attack because of that exact same technique I've been mentioning this entire time, you guys. It's like, because we have so much energy generated up right now, we're just going to spam, spam, spam. We are going to fire off this muddy water like crazy, because again, it's one of those attacks, while it doesn't do a lot, we can just fire it off so rapidly. So this is crazy. Another one, you guys.
Another one.
We're gonna go on DJ Khaled Stunfisk, because this thing is DJ Muddy Water, definitely. And so one thing is, just know you can run out the timer, you know, so there is actually a timer going on that we can't really see until the last few seconds when it actually does make itself visible. So that was one reason to switch back into the Galarian Stunfisk. Not only that, but every time you switch, remember, the Team Go Rocket side, they're gonna stand still. So use that stagnation period to your advantage, you guys. I know that this will be old news for some of you. I think it always bears repeating, and so I'm fine just kind of saying those things at least like once every episode, but switching that Galarian Stunfisk in was good to take out the Sharpedo earlier. We did some good damage on the Houndoom as well. You know, that Galarian Stunfisk with Rock Slide is going to do more damage and actually also be super effective. Of course, Muddy Water is going to be super effective here as well. So you can see that we can actually, just to spoil things, as if you didn't know how this was going to go, Muddy Water going to be able to defeat the Houndoom right here. One thing to keep in mind, again, I mentioned at the start, is just that my wife's account being in that lower level 30s, let's say you're higher or you're level 40, the Team Go Rocket side does scale up the Pokemon CP that you're going up against. It's going to be based on the player's level. Feel free to click an end screen on screen to see one of the other videos. We've got plenty on how to beat Sierra and her Lapras team. Tons of different options for you guys, beginner to advanced. And so I'll catch you guys on the next vid, and thanks for viewing.
Just might go and blast them up. So get these bulls on my side. Let's just hope they're fast enough. So don't be the one